Dear students, let us see the second topic of this operating system second unit. System calls concept, types of system calls. The objective of this topic is how system calls are used to provide operating system services. So let us see system calls, the concept of system calls.
The next topic is system call. So before starting system calls, let us see the two modes of operations in the operating system. These two modes of operating systems is used to make it works correctly, whether it is working correctly or not. So there are two modes. First is user mode, another is kernel mode. User mode, see this diagram, the system is in user mode when the operating system is running a user application such as handling text editor or handling a program. The transition from user mode to kernel mode occurs when the application requests the help of operating system. So here user process are there where the users are executing some processes, and then the suddenly it requires, that is always in user mode, suddenly it requires some operations, privileged operations. In kernel mode, privileged functions are used. Privilege function, a special type of functions that can be executed. So whenever user performing some task, for example, user is working over a program, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, it does not require any kernel intervention. But when user wants to print the result of 2 plus 2 onto the monitor, so for that purpose user uses printf statement. So where this printf works over the monitor, and monitor is under the kernel. Monitor is the hardware, is the IO device that works under the kernel, and when user wants to execute such type of instructions, at that time it calls a special type of calls that is called as system calls. So it get system call, and then it will execute that system call. Now remember here, in user mode the bit is set to 1, and in kernel mode bit is set to 0. So whenever it change the state from user mode to kernel mode, these modes are of CPU. it is a mode of CPU. So CPU changes its mode from user mode to kernel mode. At that time the bit must change from 1 to 0. Now here bit 1 is there. When it changes its mode into the kernel mode, at that time it must be 0. It executes uh, that statement or execute that particular command in kernel mode, and after execution of that command we can say execute system call that will return to user mode. Again, in user mode, whenever returning to the user mode, at that time it must be from 0 to 1. The mode bit is set to 1 in the user mode. It is changed from 1 to 0 when switching from user mode to kernel mode. Now, whenever we talk about the kernel mode, the system always starts in kernel mode when it boots. And after the operating system is loaded into the particular memory location. So at that time, the kernel mode, the bit is set to 0. It executes applications in user mode. Operating system always executes all the applications in user mode. There are some privileged instructions we need to execute that only be executed in kernel mode. These are maybe interrupts, we can say it is a trap, input output management. If the privileged instructions are executed in user mode, it is illegal. And the trap occurs. Trap means interrupt. It generates, trap generates, and suddenly processor turns from user mode to kernel mode because some privileged instructions which are executing in user mode is illegal. As soon as such illegal instructions are executed, the trap generates, or you can say interrupts occur, and that processor goes from this user mode to kernel mode. The mode bit, we know that mode bit is set to 0 in the kernel mode. It is changed from 0 to 1 when switching from kernel mode to user mode after completion of that particular instruction. This is about user mode and kernel mode of the operating system.
As we have seen, user mode and kernel mode, these two modes of processor in operating system. In user mode, user process executing. So in the same way, this diagram is given here, that is user mode and kernel mode of operating system. In operating system, user process executing while all the users are executing their processes, they required some system calls for some privileged instructions. So for that purpose, that enters from user mode into kernel mode. After that, it again returns into user mode. By default, whenever you boot the operating system, that time that always in a kernel mode, but users are always uh, programming or doing some task at user mode. So system call plays an important role here. So let us see what is system call and basic concepts of system calls and types of system calls. System call is just like a user instructions, like a instruction. It is not instruction, but it is a just like a command or like instructions. Let us see the concept of system call. In computing, a system call is the programmatic way in which a computer program requests a service from the kernel of the operating system it is executed on. A system call is a way for programs to interact with the operating system. A computer program makes a system call when it makes a service to the operating system's kernel. System call provides the service of the operating system to the user program via Application Program Interface (API). It provides an interface between a process and operating system to allow user level processes to request services for the operating system. System calls are the only entry points into the kernel system. All programs needing resources must use system calls. It is interface between process and the operating system. It allows all the user levels to request some service. It provides interface. These calls are generally available as functions written in C and C++. There are certain low-level tasks also available that may be written using the assembly language instructions. So this system call is a process request a specific service. It is interface. So before starting the actual operating system calls, how an operating system call makes uh, system calls available. So let us see first the example which illustrate how system calls are used. For example, writing a simple program to read data from the source file, this is source file, into the destination file. So contain the copy of this file. For example, the name of this file is in.txt. This is in.txt and this is out.txt. These are the two names of the file. What we actually need here, the first input that the program will need is the name of the two files, first file and second file, the input and output files. These names can be specified in many ways depending on the operating system design. So txt is the common text file that may be used in all types of operating systems. One approach is to pass the name of the two files as part of the command. We can implement the command to copy the contents of this file into this file. We have decided two file names, in text in.txt and out.txt. So we can implement here the command. The command is in a Linux, if you consider the Unix command or Linux command, we can implement cp space in.txt space out.txt. That means the content of this uh, in.txt file can be copied into out.txt file. A second approach, another approach is there for the program to ask the user for the names. In an interactive system, this approach will requires a sequence of system call. First to write a prompting message on the screen and then to read from the keyboard the characters that defines the two files. On mouse based and icon based system, a menu of file is named and names is usually displayed in a window. The user can then use the mouse to select the source name and a window can be opened for the destination name to be specified, that is in graphical user interface. This sequence also requires many IO system calls. Once the two file names have been obtained, the program must open the input file and create and open the output file. Each of these operations requires another system call. Whenever user want to interact with the hardware via some API, at that time we must require system call. Possible error condition for each system call must be handled. Some errors may be occur. For example, when the program tries to open the input file, it may find that there is no file of that particular name, or the file is protected, that means read only. In this case, the program should output an error message and then terminate abnormally. So whenever the error message is displayed, there is a system call, required system call. When terminates the operation, another system call required. If the input file exists, then we must create a new output file. So for creating, we required another system call. For displaying output, we required another system call. We may find that there is already an output file with the same name. For example, in this situation, that may be the program may abort. So whenever this such condition occurs, we require system call. We may delete the existing file. Again, we are performing another operation regarding the hardware, that is the file is stored in the hard disk drive. So again, we require a system call. Another option in interactive system is to ask the user via sequence of system calls to output the prompting message and to read the response from the terminal to whether it is existing file or to abort the program. When both files are set up, we enter a loop that reads from the input file, a system call is required here, and writes to output file, another system call is required here. Each read and write operation must return some status information regarding various possible error conditions. So this is the example of system call. Whenever we acquire the input file, required system call. Write prompt to screen, required system call. Acquired output file name, required system call. Everywhere we required system call. So finally, after the entire file is copied from this source file into destination file, the program may close both the file. So it closed the file. Write completion message to screen, that may occurs. Here also system call generates, here also system call needed. And finally, it terminates normally. If the file copied from this to this, then terminate normally. Here also system call. So this system call sequence is depicted in this picture.